You were talking about certain diet that can affect hormone changes. Maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit more.
Sure.
Especially with food.
Yeah, with food, yes.
Yes.
That's our focus here. Well, the one that's most research on, the single food, which contains phytoestrogen, so plant estrogen, is tofu. And tofu comes from soybeans, so all soy products contain something called isoflavone. There is a connection. It doesn't completely replace estrogen. You would need to eat mountains of tofu every day.
Too many calories.
Every little bit helps if you're sort of on the cusp of perimenopause.
Of course.
But if you're sort of at the later state of postmenopausal, eating tofu is still a benefit because it is a source of protein, it is low fat. A lot of Asian women that eat tofu, there are studies of, they are wondering if tofu is one of the anti-aging elements with a lot of the Japanese descendants that fermented tofu especially, finding that there's an element in natto beans and fermented tofu called K2, so vitamin K2 that actually does something to the collagen. So there are many health benefits to tofu, and in the last 20 years, we've overlooked it because of the bad rep that estrogen or phytoestrogen got in related to breast cancer. So tofu is great when you don't have cancer. But if you're a cancer survivor or somebody who's had some cancer issues, you don't want to be eating tofu because estrogen does stimulate growth. It is somewhat anabolic, and it will stimulate good or bad cells that's in your body. So it stimulates things to feel more vitality, but it can also stimulate the bad things. So tofu is good, but not for people that have had cancer. Other than that, because your hormones are shifting and there is cortisol, which is being produced when you are stressed because of the lack of estrogen buffering your stress hormones. Therefore, sometimes you could actually have higher blood sugar, and cortisol prevents the body from using the fat as nutrients. So it's all a cycle. So what that means is women in our age, we have to be very careful with the type of exercise we choose to do. Go on any of the expert sites, they'll talk about no traumatic exercise. So you can still do high impact, you can still do gentle high impact. Weightlifting is especially important for the bones. Again, you don't have that protection from estrogen, but CrossFit is probably going to be out. Okay, because what that does is hurts the body more than it actually improves the body. So you want to do gentle type of exercises. Doesn't need to be too gentle. We're not 70 yet, but it needs to be non-traumatic. And what are some of those exercises that you think would be suitable, that are weight-bearing? Still, you can get a good sweat, and some aerobic exercises that's middle of the road, but not necessarily super traumatic, like 100 burpees. I can't do that anymore.
Well, all depends. That's a great question, Charlene. All depends on the client, on ladies, what they are capable of doing, and also on their body type as well.
Okay.
The body metabolism, how well they burn calories, how well your body adjusts to certain exercise. Some people can do 10 reps, no problem.
Let's say I am somebody who is used to a desk job.
Yeah.
And then I want to start exercising,
Yes.
but I don't want to injure myself or produce too much cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which actually makes me gain more weight and not getting results. So what kind of exercise would you recommend?
Of course, first of all, I have to assess your level. What are you capable of doing first? Well, some people, even though they have a desk job, but they can do level 3 exercise, right? I have to look at you by giving you a set of exercise.
Okay.
Whether you can do that, then move to the next level.
I see.
So we all have to start from the beginning.
I see. So it's individualized based on your level. Do you recommend that people, if they have the ability to measure their body fat or where they are to get a sense of their fitness level?
That's a
when
great question as
yeah.
well. You're right. Most of our doctors, they don't do that. They just weigh the whole
Weigh you,
body,
yeah.
right? But your weight, we also know that, doesn't really represent how much body fat you have and your lean muscle mass.
Body composition.
Yes.
The weight does not
Yeah.
tell
Yes.
us
Yeah.
what's in the sack.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you see so many bodybuilders look big, but they look so lean, right? It's because the body fat is low, but their lean muscle mass is high. What I usually recommend women to have as a tool, a body measurement scale, a good one that measure your body fat, lean muscle mass, and some of the measurement scales also measure your water content as well, and as well as the visceral fat.
Visceral,
Yeah.
ooh, that's
Yes.
dangerous. Yes.
Yes.
Now, could I buy one of those scales just at the local drugstore, or is that something very special that I have to look for?
Well, again, everything we want to do, we do some research first, spend some time. Nowadays, you can get so much information online. What I would recommend is you Google body measurement scale.
Okay.
And then read some on different types of it. Some, of course, who are better, of course, maybe have better functions.
Are they accurate? Are the scales that I can buy for $30 at London Drugs accurate?
Well, depends, right? Some of the $30 ones that you get might only have certain functions.
I see. They're
right?
limited
Limited.
functions.
And even from my own experience, the body measurement scale that I bought a couple years ago are actually sort of out of fashion. Having a body scale that you stand on can read your body fat, given your age, given your height.
What did you use when you were training for the bodybuilding competitions?
Okay.
I mean, that's at a pro level, but let's see what kind of
Okay,
great
when I
instruments.
started, my coach did everything, but he was using this body measurement scale. I didn't know what it was. He just said, stand on it, and he gave me the number. I wasn't into doing those myself yet. But then when COVID hit, we can't go to the gym.
Right.
We have to do everything at home. So over Zoom. So I have to learn about what does the body measurement scale does. So I have to buy one myself, learn about it, and I have to tell all my ladies to get one when they come
Yes,
on.
I think you've mentioned that
Yeah.
particular one on Amazon.
yes.
It's about $100, so it is slightly higher level and more professional versus the ones you get at drugstores.
Yes, like again, those body measurement scale do have different quality, but I would invest in a higher quality and also read some of the reviews. The reviews are the best before you determine to get one. So those are times that you have to spend to
Yes.
invest to make a better decision
Yes.
whether it is worth your money or not.
Boy, I feel like as we get older, there's just so much to do. We're like
Right.
cars that need a lot of maintenance.
My goal is to make sure the women see the body as a very precious asset. Yet we sometimes, quite often, not spending the time to look
After our
ourselves.
body.
Yeah.
Yes, I think what you mentioned, and I'm really glad you picked the topic today, because it is about self-care and understanding what's going on with our
Right.
body. It can be frightening, I think, the early stages if you're not prepared with what's going on. But hopefully, more women will be more educated about
Right.
this transition.
Right.
It is a huge transition,
Right.
and I've mentioned quite a few good resources on it if you want to start the exploration, and there are tons of books on it too. So I think starting anywhere would be a plus.
This is amazing information today. Thank you, Charlene. And just to conclude, self-care is way more than just the outside, inside as well. So today we talk about hormone changes
Yes.
as we age, and
Yes.
maybe perhaps we can go deeply into more on this topic. Charlene already mentioned, if you want more, you can go to the site.
And I think this is going to bring up a lot of topics, because holistically, as women
Yes.
enter midlife, it is a different part of life. I mean,
Yes.
we are not the same people we were
Right.
at 20s.
Right.
And, beyond the physical, there's, relationship changes, spiritual changes,
Yes.
and just maturing.
Yes.
And that can bring a lot of amazing benefits as well psychologically.
Yes, thank you. And our goal is really not to let anything hold us back to get
A study from Psychology Today have reported that people after 55 have reported the highest level of happiness. So I really want to stress that beyond, the transition physically, there's a lot to gain mentally and spiritually.
Yeah, Thank you, Charlene. Ladies, if you like, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.